What's up, guys? No, Wednesday Night Live. What's up, guys? 8 mag stack chest rigs. I think these are sold out. We sent a text out a couple hours ago. Rallymans, multicam Rallymans. I don't know if these are available. We've still got a bunch we're cleaning. OD grocery bags. We have a lot of grocery bags right now. We're running, I think, 100 or so double-sided shooting mats. Here's another stack right here. Just have to have grommets, and then these will ship tomorrow. They need another line, so I'm right here too. And then those will ship tomorrow. Orders will go out for those. What else do we have out here? I know I sewed a bunch of small stuff for a few hours last night that they did the finals on today. Here's radio pouches. I just sewed some more in OD tonight. These will hold your Baofangs, your VX7Rs, VX6Rs, 5Rs. These are PALS mount. Multicam. These here are multi-tool pouches. We have like every color of these, belt attach or PALS. These will hold small knives, small flashlights, multi-tools. Pistol cards, we build these every day. If we get an order and we don't have them, we build them generally that same day. Here's some H harnesses that are going on, I don't know what. Rifle cards, here's some triple pistol mags that are all finished up. We have pretty much every version of those also. What else do we have going out here right now? There's more belts out. We started the Highlander modular NSW rigs. You guys that love Highlander, I think we have like maybe 6 of these extras that we're running. More spent mags. I think we're doing multicam spent mags with pistol mags and chem lights. Those are going. Here's those radio pouches that I sewed tonight. They just got to put the faces on now. More belts going out. More OD Rallymans. Tool aprons, multicam hydros, multicam vehicle med bags, multicam Rallymans, multicam blacks. And then I think tomorrow, we're running or prepping a couple hundred small Velcro backed mesh pockets. So once you see, don't email me right now, there's nothing I can do, but once you see stacks of those coming out, if you've got other mesh pockets on order, we're running black right now. We will sub those if it will ship your order. If it won't, then we won't do anything with it. But now will be a good opportunity in the next couple days to get a bunch of those. You can use those things. They'll actually Velcro to the carpet in a lot of vehicles, so you could organize things on like your footwell, on the wall of your footwell. You can use them in gun safes. A lot of people Velcro those things in to organize stuff inside gun safes. You can use them anywhere they're Velcro. You can put them in backpacks and med kits and all kinds of stuff. Here's those, more of that spent mag. I hadn't seen that when I was over here. I'll look at the comments here in a second. We filmed episode, I think, 15 of Pulling the Thread. If you are a level 3 member, which is $9.99, you will see that episode from today in just a couple days here, as soon as Brandel can get that put up. Then we filmed another sewing video today and another video just me speaking tersely to the camera. Those get a lot of comments. People seem to like them. Here's some first aid pouches right here that finished up. These hold the old plastic boxes, first aid boxes that have nothing inside to keep you alive. But guys use them for fire starters and survival kits and great little fishing kit, you know, for your little kid when you're taking them out, stuff like that. And we have those in Coyote. Had a chance to play with chainsaw. Nice, man, nice. Easy K, what's up? Matt, Chuck Peoples, what's up, buddy? Saw your email. I don't know the answer yet. Chances are good, because we've had those on open order for a while. Chances are good we will have one of those orders that's already shipped somebody something else to fulfill it. So if we have one, I'll let you know. Chase Peoples, what's up, buddy? 8 mag stacks sold out in seconds. Weird. I better check that. Maybe we didn't get it locked into inventory or something. Red lingerie, no. What's up? I don't know what you're talking about. Kilo Bravo 6, what's going on, buddy? When we lose all comms and we have to do comm shots, in the worst of conditions, you're going to be the only radio call sign I know. And I'm not going to know the other three. All I know is Kilo Bravo 6. So when you hear that transmission, if you're hearing this, you are the resistance. Watched someone did last night, digging them. Greg, thank you for watching, man. I need to grab an NSW rig or something big. I tried my copper rig in class last weekend. Looks child size. We're about to have some Highlander NSW rigs if you're into that kind of thing. I don't know if you're into that kind of thing, but JT, what's up? Run G19. What's going on? Maybe you're not aware, but High Point is the champagne of firearms. Okay, I think we've read all this. I'll see you guys later. Not really. There's 32 on here. I need to hit that thumbs up. Bump that number up there. Do you guys like rocks? Are you crystal rubbers? Do you like to put these things inside your orifices or keep them close to your body? Amanda has all kinds of things. She has another Facebook page called Amanda's Mercantile, and it has some of her stuff on there. I don't know what she's doing with these or what half of this. I think this is called agate. These cool little cat paws. Somewhere there's some little 3-year-old that's probably carved these out of hand. Anyways, she has a lot of this stuff, all kinds of crystals and rocks and minerals and other things as well. So Amanda's Mercantile, you can find that Facebook group. It's her group. Do not fucking go in there. If you want to say something about SOE or whatever, but there's no SOE business happening in there. So just keep that in mind. I have a salt lamp thing, but no woo-woo rocks right on. There seems to be something to those salt lamp things. There seems to be, I think there's something to a lot of different things if you put energy into it, if you believe in it. If you believe that it can heal you, I think that it can heal you. I heard South African Army is using High Point as its standard sidearm. I have no idea, man. 6 to 8 inches of snow. Wow, it's fucking warm outside. We have crazy storms. When they say, when they risk your tornado risk of 2, is that 2 out of 5 or is that 2 out of 10 or what? We're at 2. Severe storms 3, tornado risk 2. Brandel left here. He has a 4-hour drive to the east to get home. And he hit some rain coming in. So there's some shit coming for sure. Looking at Ed Brown custom 1911s, but I saw High Point was in love. Everything I get on here, I miss good Jaeger. Fuck yeah, I do too, man. I miss him fucking like there's not a minute of the day that goes by where like I've even gone to message, like I'll forward messages to guys and I'll send them to him, realizing that they're probably going to the girls. They've never replied and been like, hey, motherfucker. But there's many times I have gone to communicate or say something to him, and I've caught myself, luckily, because it would have, went to the girls, I would guess. The tree or coyote NSW rigs in the shelf. Oh, there's coyote NSW rigs, but everybody knows coyote poop brown. I don't know why they called it coyote. The first coyote material we saw was super red. It was because there was no assigned Pantone color to it, which is a number on the chart. It was, which is weird because here's a coyote, but it was, I guess it was kind of like this color. And then when we saw it, it was like Hershey brown. Like there was never a spec for it for years on the raw goods. I do that to my dad, go to text him and, yeah, yep. 74 here today, storms coming in tonight. Byron, be safe, buddy. Iridium, what's up, man? Thanks for being on the live the other day, buddy. Where's the squat rack going? It's going over there in place of that one over there. That one's coming out. I think this stair stepper's coming out. I think this whole area right here is coming out of here, and then the rack and then all the stuff that supports the rack will be here. Originally, we put these floor mats down, and it worked as this area. But this has always bothered me right here. And we did it because it was the easy way, right? We didn't want to, these mats are kind of a bitch to cut, but I need to get more mats. These are all mismatched. So I just need to take a couple hours where we pull all of this shit out of here, go get matching mats, and then lay them in with this, and then I'll have one cut, I think, that I have to make, which means we'll cut a template out of cardboard, mark it on the back, and then try, I'm thinking I can cut it with a Sawzall, pretty straight, maybe a table saw. Hi, Gavin. I don't see anybody named Gavin on here. Hoodie shipped. Man, the hoodies are fucking awesome. So stoked. The video I did this morning had the hoodie. I really, really like those lightweight hoodies. They're warm enough 80% of the time for me. Now I'm outside a lot of times in 30 degrees with a t-shirt. Not long time, but in the mornings. But those lightweights, I love that red inside and the red cords. I was going to buy the NSW rig, but am saving my pennies for case high points. I saw like a heart box, chocolate box of hearts, you know, or heart-shaped box of chocolates, but it was all like 45 bullets or something. It was all bullets, and then had, I think it was a high point in the middle. It was like oil rubbed, iridescent, like those shitty knives you see at the gas stations. What kind of mats were those? Like, who makes them? Oh, they're stall mats. They're for horse stalls, and they're from Tractor Supply. See, that some of them have cross hatches. I want them all to match up where they're smooth on one side. They're really heavy. They're fucking really heavy. But if you buy a pallet of them, they'll just load them in your truck or on your trailer. So that's the bottom. I wonder what that is. Mold, maybe? I don't know. I don't think so, but maybe moisture, because there's definitely moisture that comes through this slab. Oh, I used to use those as well. It's almost a workout. Just, oh, fuck yes it is. Hell yes it is. I have something like, I think it's meniscus, right? So if I go to kick these, right, and I kick them into place and get them all jacked in, if you kick them wrong, my leg will be fucked up for weeks on the side of the patella. Yeah, they're heavier than they look. They definitely are. Pizza roll ship. The pizza rolls are good. If you've never had them, they're really good. We have a lot of moisture right now. I've got some condensation coming off these overhead lines. Dripping here. Dude, I went to Walmart to get Valentine's stuff. It was almost gone and replaced with St. Patrick's Day and Easter. Brandel hit me up the other day, and he's like, what the fuck's going on at Walmart? I'm like, I don't know. What's up? And he's like, dude, I went to 3 different Walmarts, and there was like 1,000 people there. And then one of the girls at work here said she had gone to Walmart, and she's like, it was super crowded. I go, why? She goes, because Valentine's. I'm like, I didn't even think about that. It was because of Valentine's Day. A lot of rain in the 70s. Okay, I think I've read all these. Enjoyed it. Spent most of it enjoying Coach Stevens' logo font. Almost certainly the Star Trek Next Generation font. I didn't catch that. Jack nerds are cool. Got my tool bag today with pizza rolls. Have you tried the pizza rolls? What do you think of them? Brandel tried pizza rolls here today. Scully tried pizza rolls here today. They're good. They're like really, really crisp potato, like the best, most crisp potato chip you've ever had. They're like that, but a pizza roll. You could take them and put them in wrap them in a warm, wet paper towel, and they would reconstitute somewhat. Billy Magnum, what's up, man? Star Trek Next Generation is the best. Changed my mind. I think like with all the shit going on in Ohio right now, I think that would be a good reason to have a Mira mask, right? Gas mask. And you know, you don't have to have a full face gas mask. They make a mask that is a faceplate, and then you can wear separate goggles with it. I just, something with massive debris and irritants in the air like that, I think that would be probably a good thing to have. Plus, I mean, if you've ever seen the live that we did with Ed, I really like gas masks, and I'm always looking for a reason to justify having them. I mean, I have like 50 of them upstairs, like old, vintage ones. Listening to one of Andy's Real AF podcast today, he was talking about fake business owners, using sale funnels as in coaching programs. Do you think that would work for the tactical world? So I don't know. But what he's talking about is just click funnels. He's talking about just you have to click on something. When you ever go to buy something, right, an online publication or something, and you go to buy it, and then it makes you click, like you've got it in the cart, and then it shows you 100 other things. Would you like to buy this thing? Would you like to buy this thing? Would you like to buy this thing? If you buy this, we'll give you, if you buy 2 of any of these 5, we'll give you the other 3 free. Those are click funnels. So for I don't know how you would for the tactical world, but what Andy talks about all the time is people who have no real life experience selling you coaching. It's like the old multi-level marketing kind of stuff. Do you remember as a kid? Maybe you don't. When I was a kid, they had these things that were like in the back of all the hunting and fishing and outdoor magazines. And it said, basically what it said was fun and profits raising earthworms or crickets or whatever, right? So you'd send your $5 in. And what would they send you? They would send you a photocopy flyer, basically, that you yourself would take and photocopy and then run ads in magazines and publications yourself. And when people would send you $5, you would send them this thing, right? There wasn't anything real there. It wasn't anything you couldn't actually do on your own. But it really had nothing to do with raising mealworms or earthworms, right? And that's kind of that thing. So is it legal? Is it a scam? These guys, you're going to pay, $1,000. They're going to make it very elite. They're going to rent a very cool venue. They're going to have some really nice cars and luxury goods that they might own or they might lease or whatever. And you're going to get, I have a friend who owns a jewelry store in Nashville. And when he does high-end events for clients, Porsche brings several very high-end cars over and parks them in front of the store. And then he will have wine companies that will come in. So it won't just be diamonds and Rolexes, but the vendors for like Breitling will come in and bring in some inventory he doesn't have. Rolex will send a rep in. So it's like a get together, and then it'll have some catering to it. But if you took that and rented a cool venue and charged, it's $500 to show up, or it's $200 to show up, but we're going to have a private event. We're going to have a private party Saturday, and it's going to cost you $450 to come to the party. But you're going to actually have access to all the speakers, right? And then if you want to really get to know people in a more intimate setting where you can actually have conversations, Friday night, we're going to have a very elite, higher-end get-together at a cooler place, and that costs $4,000 to walk into. And most people, just being around those, if you can't figure out or be motivated to make $4,000 when you're in a room with these people for 5-6 hours having these kind of conversations, then you don't belong there, right? If you can afford to make $4,000, typically the people who have the money already know how to make the money, so they will be a success also. Or the people who are willing to beg, borrow, steal, and rob because they feel like they have to be, they are also going to be motivated to remake that money. And that's a lot of it. But you have what, Andy calls them all the time, success zombies, right? You'll speak at multiple events, maybe once a month, and you will see these people at every single event. And they'll follow you on social media, and they'll interact, and because you recognize them, and that's a bunch of it, right? Paying to go to these events, a bunch of it is being recognized by these people who fly around in private jets, right? So do you have something where you could do business with them, right? Are you capable of performing in business with them? Because these are the guys, you get in a room with these guys and they'll go, hey, I want, 10,000 of this thing that you make, right? So It's networking. You're paying to have availability to network with people who are already making millions and millions of dollars. So, are you going to perform, or are you just going to pay to go and spectate? Watching the video you just put up with Nicole Sauce and Amanda, right on. She was here Friday. That's the first time that we actually sat down and did a real podcast. Had a good time. We were able to just kind of speak about several different topics. I'm curious, with a business like yours, how many suppliers do you utilize to produce all of your raw materials? Do you handle those contracts yourself, or do you have a purchase? I handle everything myself. And I have 3 lines of supply for everything. And what we are seeing more in the last 3 months than the last 3 years, suppliers who we've done business with for 20 years and 30 years, when we go to order stuff, straight don't have it. And we're even being told they're discontinuing it. They're not carrying it any longer. So OD, for instance, olive drab. Olive drab's going away. I've been telling guys that forever, right? We have a couple colors close to it. The elastic is more of a ranger green, right? They're calling it military green. Now, military green typically is like a mint green, but the military green that we're getting on the elastic, I like better than the OD green. So, like, if we could switch everything over to that color, great. Not worried about it. But I have multiple lines of supply for everything that comes in the building. Now, there's some things that you can only get one place, right? Like the multicam pattern stuff. It comes from one mill. Now, multicam has licensed other print-on-demand places to put their pattern on, but they put it on a material that's not nearly as good as the stuff coming from the actual mill that does it at the highest level. When you started, how did you beat the street for business and produce development when you were sewing all the time? Word of mouth. We worked. I had access to the SEAL teams. I had access to the reconnaissance guys. So when we started, I started going to gun shows. So when we first started, special operations equipment, I did not have sewing machines. We were doing buying surplus gear and camping gear and outdoor equipment. We would go to the flea markets, or what was called a swap meet in San Diego. Now, they were huge. They were at the stadium and the sports arena. Some of them you'd spend half a day going through these places. So what we would do is we would buy a parking space, basically, is what you would buy. It was $60, and we would get in at 6:30 when other people got in. Now, the swap meet didn't open until 7:30, 8 o'clock. We would get in and find the women who were selling off all their ex-husband's shit, or, whoever, and she'd have a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, how much for all of this? And of course, we didn't ever have all of it. How much? I never had the money. How much for all of it? So she'd come up with something, and you'd be like, okay, well, how much for just these pieces, right? We'd buy shit, and then she would typically leave, or we would buy stuff undervalue, and we'd put it in our booth for more. So we would always make some money. And then the better stuff we would take to gun shows, and we would actually sell it at gun shows. Now, I started selling some gear here and there. We were buying surplus gear and shit. I didn't start sewing till maybe a year later. That's a whole nother story. But what did you even ask me? When you started, so when we started sewing gear, some of the guys, like Lance, I don't know if you know Uncle Lance, he met me at a gun show, and we just become best friends, right? We were just fucking hanging out all the time. He came to my house right after that, to my mom's house, and he's like, we built a few things, and we went down to Coronado to the amphibious base. On the other side was the Marine Corps side of the house, on the other side of the street, and that was reconnaissance, right? So we went in there to where these guys were all staying, and Lance just he's like, hey, listen up, and he fucking pushed all their pool balls to the side, and we opened some bags of gear and threw them out on the table, and he's like, all this shit's for sale, who wants to buy it? And guys were like, how much for this, how much for this? And it was basically belts and a few other things. So they bought some shit. Then we went over to the other side, to the SEAL team base, and we did the same thing. And then the next weekend, we went to Camp Pendleton to where all the battalion recon guys and the force recon guys' barracks were, which was basically squad base. It was, Quonset huts with pool tables and, so we did the same thing. So they started buying gear, and then they started placing orders for gear, more than we could possibly make. So we were only doing a few at a time. And they would pay, and I'd go home and build it. And then we just kept going like that. Well, they all told each other, right? They all cross-trained with each other. So we were doing battalion recon, force recon, the SEAL team stuff. And then back then, any law enforcement agency doing any counter-drug stuff got federal funding. So they got to go to SEAL weapons school, SEAL explosive school, breacher school. So they saw the gear the SEALs were using, and then the cops started coming around looking for gear. I actually thought I was in trouble. I was trying to hide from them, and they finally caught me one night at like 1 a.m. and opened the garage up, and I'm like, all right, you got me. And they were just like, they're like, you're hard to get a hold of. I'm like, yeah, I'm not, I've always kind of been in trouble all my life for silly shit. So when a cop's coming around leaving a business card on my door, the last fucking thing I'm going to do is call the cop. But they were looking for gear. So it just went from there, man. We were just doing, gun shows used to be a very, very big thing, and they were very frequent. There was a gun show circuit, right? Kind of like the World Wrestling Federation. They always have the same venues that they bounce around, so every year, Well, the gun shows, Crossroads of the West, they would do 15, 20 in California, then they do Arizona, and they do Nevada. So we would just do different gun shows. And we would see some of the same people, but the big gun show was Pomona, the Pomona Fairgrounds, where they have like the Chevy Nationals and shit. That fairgrounds is enormous, and it would literally take you 2 or 3 days to see the Pomona gun show when it was in its prime. And we would just go in there and set up a badass display. We had rubber raiding boats, we had Zodiacs, we had mannequins with parachutes and all kinds of gear on, comm gear. So it really caught people's eye. That would kind of draw them in, but then we would have other stuff for sale. And even guys that weren't buying gear, we always had cool shirts. So we would always sell shirts even to people who were not customers for special operations equipment gear. Right place, right time. Missed the morning breakfast videos, Uncle. I talked to Lance this morning for a minute. Props to you. That's a lot of juggle. I work in supply chain for Cyrus Aircraft. Feel the struggle for, it's getting crazier and crazier, right? Even people that manufacture parts can't get certain raw goods to manufacture parts, right? So you never even really know where the bottleneck is. And if they're telling you one thing, you don't even know if that's really actually the case. Pulling the thread is exactly the medicine I needed. It's so refreshing to pause the drama and bad news to hear the stories and banter. Well, it's all real though, right? So we'll tell you what we think, but we'll also tell you a bunch of shit we know. And the reason we know it is because we actually did it, right? And I think a lot of the stuff that we did, people look at today and they're like, well, we could never do that. That would never work. So I'm putting this back over there because I was just walking past and noticed that edge tape didn't get sewn down there. There's another some more thread. So I think that's the important part, right? Just like we shot a video today, and I've noticed this in all the Facebook groups. Have you guys noticed that everywhere you read anything in Facebook, people are like, delete if not allowed, and then they tell you what they want to say. People have become so fucking pussified, such little bitches, that they're so busy asking permission that they never do anything. And if they just did the shit, nobody would tell them no anyways. But because you give them the opportunity to tell you no, somebody's going to tell you no, and you're just a bitch and you never start. And it's not even that you're concerned with them telling you no. It's you're going to use that as an excuse for your inaction. So delete if not allowed. How about fuck off, right? You posted it anyways. Believe me, if it's not allowed, I'm going to fucking delete it. It doesn't happen in my groups, but I see it multiple times a day. It's just silliness. And the way things happened, like I can tell you what a federal search warrant looks like. I can tell you how crazy 14 agencies and the duty experts coming to the raid. Like we had the San Diego Zoo, Humane Society, Animal Control, and Zoning there. Like that was 4 of the 14 agencies. The San Diego Zoo, there was a lady there, and she was there because of all my reptiles. And she's like, are any of these animals poisonous? I'm like, well, none of them are poisonous. I go, but you should know that, right? You're the duty expert. You're the one that they chose from the San Diego Zoo to send here, right? And she's like, you don't have to be rude. I go, well, I know the reptile people at the San Diego Zoo, and you're not one of them. I go, and poisonous means if I eat this and ingest it, I could get sick because it's poisonous. Venomous means that an animal envenomates you through fangs. I go, you're not even using the right terminology. So you tell me, since you've gone and looked through all of my animals, do I have any poisonous or venomous animals? And she had no clue, right? And that's just like the firearms experts that are going to come and say that your Mosin Nagant is an AK-47, right? Why do they send the dummies? Why do they send the stupid people? Why don't they send somebody that actually fucking knows? Like we talked about that on the podcast today. And we talked about a lot of different things, right? People, I don't care what you do. I'm not going to interact in your life until you tell me what you can't do, right? If you come on my video and tell me you want these things, but you tell me all the reasons you can't have them, I don't give a shit. You weren't even on my radar. I'm not going to get in your life until you come into my life, tell me you want something, and then tell me how you can't do it. Interest in buying some Cobra buckles. I have a couple hundred looking to get rid of. I get them way cheaper than you get them probably because of my volume. And I have Cobra buckles coming in here every few days right now. Like we have tons and tons. I ordered more Cobra buckles today. I'm sitting on, and what you might not realize is when they stopped anodizing the buckles and went to the Cerakote or whatever that shit they're putting on there, I bought all of their remaining inventory. I bought like 17,000 Cobra buckles probably. I don't put them, they're colored, right? They're different colors, so I use them only on my custom stuff. But I have a lot of Cobra buckles. So, and then also shipping. I mean, I don't know. Hit me up, make me an offer, let me know what you got. I use 1-inch 1.5, and I use 1.75, and I use 2-inch. And I use fixed female side, adjustable male side, and I use black for the most part. I haven't even been putting coyote buckles on stuff. I just ordered a bunch of coyote today because we went through like a couple years there where I'd order coyote and they just never had it, right? But I could always get black. We started putting black on all of our belts all across the board, and you know what happened? Nobody complained. And it was just one part number that I had to carry. I was telling someone I was going to class. They said, you can't do that. Yeah. Yeah. You know what they told us, what we heard during the lockdowns, right? Everything's locked down, right? We went to a lot of places that were locked down, looked in the window, and you know what happened? There was people inside. The lights were off, and they're like, hey, come inside. We went shopping at major fucking stores in shopping malls that were supposed to be locked down. They were only locked down for the people that didn't bother to look. Are you not happy with the Cerakote? No, it doesn't stay on as well. It does not stay. The black buckles are still anodized. Coyote and tan, like that color, is very hard to anodize and get consistency because it has to do with vat temperature, ambient temperature of the air. So if you Cerakote if you anodize all your parts at one run, and then you do another batch, a lot of times they don't match up. I'm even seeing it in the black, right? If you get it, a lot of times the Cobra buckles, even though they're black anodized, which is the most common color to anodize, I guess, you still see kind of two different shades. But I mean, we occasionally we'll get the super crybaby that's like, hey, I ordered this, one of your pictures, even though there's hundreds of different pictures, one of your pictures shows the engraving a little deeper than the other, or one shows black pins and the other shows brass pins. I want this kind. We don't even acknowledge those guys. Like we can't, like you have a 95% chance that whatever's you're asking for on that day, we just don't have. Thinking back to lockdown still makes me feel some, yeah. Yeah, and I mean, just think of how much distrust it's put in the government right now, right? Even if the government was telling you completely true shit, which I don't think they are. I think that it's all owned by Big Pharma. I think Big Pharma controls your government. I think Big Pharma controls your law enforcement, right? Look how many police officers were willing to do tyrant shit to you, right? You can't be out here because of the quarantine. Well, you motherfuckers are all mobbing up on, a single dude out in a park or on the beach. You're clearly not worried about him contaminating you. Chinese balloons, stop. Yeah, the White House came out today and said that some of these balloons might be from car lot advertising. Really? That's what you got? How do you feel about OEM parts or aftermarket parts? Could be car machinery or your work machinery or whatever. So we had a alternator go out on the skid steer, right? Kubota skid steer. I think it's 2 years old, maybe. Definitely should not have gone out. And to get the part from Kubota, it was $450, $650. It was hundreds of dollars, right? So my question was, what alternator can we just go to AutoZone and get, right? Take it in. I'm sure they have something that matches that will go in this machine. Now, I didn't ask Kubota this. I asked a guy I know who does maintenance for a rental fleet that rents out Kubotas and Link Belt and rents out a lot of machines, like a lot of volume, right? And he said, hey, you can do it, but we have not had good luck with these AutoZone rebuilds and stuff. He's like, you're really better off getting it from Kubota. Now, the price, the reason we were looking at other options, because Kubota didn't have it. It was going to take like 2 weeks to get this, so the machine would be sitting here. Now, luckily, it had a warning light, and the warning light said battery or charge system. And when we checked the battery was fine. It actually was the alternator. Now, it never stalled. It never locked anywhere, but the concern was that I would be traveling with this thing someplace on the property, out at the front of the driveway, for instance, and this motherfucker die. How do you move the skid steer when it no longer runs, right? That's the concern. So we went with the Kubota alternator. I don't have an issue with aftermarket parts. If I'm putting them in myself or I'm having somebody work on one of my vehicles, we can go with the aftermarket part. I'm not too concerned with it. If it's under warranty and it's coming from the dealership, then I expect OEM parts. Nippon Density might make the alternator. Clones everywhere, even Damar Hamlin. I don't believe that was him. So I don't know about on the field, but I saw an interview with him today. Showing his face. I wouldn't know what he looks like. I don't have a fucking clue. But this guy said, hey, coming from the NFL myself, they always tested us all the time. They knew anything that was wrong with us and any possibility, right? He said, so, having asked that, now having said that, what did your doctors tell you caused your heart condition? And he just got a weird look and he's like, I can't speak to that on camera. Okay, that tells us everything we need to know because it's exactly what we think it is. Save the old alternator, it probably can be rebuilt. So what they said, it was just, there's a $30 part, I think it's the voltage regulator on the side of the alternator. So we have a spare alternator now. 11 seconds of silence in the interview when they asked what happened. Yeah, did you hear what he said though? Did you hear just silence? Because he was silent and then said, I can't speak about that. I can't, or I've been advised I can't, or my attorneys, or the league. I don't remember what he said, something to that effect. I sent it to you, didn't I, Evan? Didn't I send that to you this morning? Cross-reference for products, they're only made in a few places. Chinese were monitoring the weather. Yeah, so I saw, I guess White House came out today and said that one of the recovered balloons had explosives in it. Did it? I mean, did it? Maybe. Who knows? DMX is that shit. DTMX is that shizo? I don't know what that is. It's a mirror of how I would do this. Clones everywhere. I want a chest rig that holds 8 tracks. I would like for you to have that. Thinking back to lockdowns still makes me feel some type of way. Are you not happy with the circuit? Okay, I know there's a bunch of these I've missed, but almost coming up on every video of the member section. Absolutely amazing content. Thank you for so much for the awesome gear and content. Well, Mike, thank you, man. Unfortunately, gun shows in my area have turned into flea market. Yeah. We used to have a gun show here. I mean, we still do little fairground ones, but the Nashville Fairground had one, and it was even tiny. It was very lackluster compared to anything you ever saw at a California gun show, Arizona, or Nevada. Now, I say that was 20 years ago, right? So maybe that's how they all are now. I don't know. Watch Peter Zeihan's video from a couple of days ago about the Chinese balloons. Because that tells you it was, and because a lawsuit is coming. What about the controversy jacket he had on? SpongeBob cartoon face on a crucifix. I didn't notice it, man. I didn't see that. And a lot of times, like I think I saw it on TikTok or Instagram or something. A lot of times, I'll just have earbuds in, so I'm doing something else and not looking at the screen. Almost more beef jerky and knives at gun show. Yeah, you can go to any big truck stop and get that. There's probably better guns in the truck stop too than at the gun show. Peter Zeihan wearing a uke tie. I know the name. I don't know who he is though. Tim Pool had somebody on tonight that had some interesting things to say, very well versed or rehearsed, about the war machine and all the bullshit in Ukraine and what actually led up to all of this, right? Yeah, the Tim Pool show was good tonight. What I listened to a bit of it. You should check out this guy, Peter Zeihan. He seems to have a unique understanding of how all the world economics and military are playing. JRE podcast. Man, I've listened to a lot of his stuff. I'm just not putting it together. I definitely know the name. Heard an Army Blackhawk went down in Alabama. I had not heard that. Sting came out in Poland about the why UK is a proxy war by Joe Coffey. Peter Zeihan, global strategist that has been right. He's the dude saying that China's like a fucking paper tiger, right? That's that dude? Like China is really the population of China is dying. The average U.S. citizen, the average citizen in China is 38 years old. Our average citizen is said to be 28 years old. China just recently rewrote all of their. They don't have a constitution, but basically they rewrote all their, and you can see it online, talking about mandatory service. Males and females, 19 years of age, have to serve. When summoned, they have 30 days to report. I also saw. I keep seeing a lot of stuff about China building these huge quarantine camps that house 90,000 people in each of them. But the problem with China, like, who are they going to summon to duty, right? That's the let it rot generation, right? They're just going to sit and wait till the people in charge die. Still haven't seen anything about the trains, let alone the Black Hawk. Train crash is causing lung infection. The train crash is causing a lot of shit. A lot of shit. Hundreds and hundreds of miles away. And that whole area is about to get decimated by this storm coming through. I also had heard yesterday that they had more tanks that they were going to light on fire, right? They have more cars, tanker cars, that they were going to, like, the fires aren't done. I tried to Google a couple times today, eerily silent across the spectrum. Slot more cigarettes in China. Train crash causing lung, media-wise. So everybody was using the hashtag Ohio Chernobyl, U.S. Chernobyl, and I had heard, I haven't looked for myself, but I heard that they have disabled that hashtag. Prevailing wind moved the blow off northeast. Did you hear about Chinese self-destruct helmets? I did. Yeah, I did hear that, man. Yeah. Those camps in China are probably the prisoners when the slip across the sea for conquest. Speculation, of course, but it sounds legit, just like the large commercial buildings going up everywhere in California. Yeah, how about all the FEMA camps in the United States? Where did all those guillotines go that Obama administration bought? 18,000, wasn't it? 18,000, right? Stainless steel, fully functioning, life-size guillotines to cut people's heads off with, right? Did you hear this? Look this up. Find out for yourself. 18,000 of them. Where did they go? What were they for? How about all the body bags, right? All the plastic coffins, all the Walmarts that have been converted. Have you heard about all the Walmarts and Sam's Club and Targets now are shutting down? Bed Bath & Beyonds are shutting down. Did you hear 18,000? Amazon laid off another 18,000 employees. I heard that this morning. Commercial buildings are going up for sure. All the fairly close to railways. Yeah, like for the cattle cars. Why would they disable the hashtag? This feels like I am reading Anatoly Goldstein when he wrote about gray warfare. Spetsnaz agents would disable infra. Well, Yuri Bezmenov. It's the playbook he laid out. Buffalo shooter got sentenced. Still might be a false flag. Still would have preferred they drop a mountain on that. Yeah, like the sarcophaguses. Yeah. Those camps in China. I think we've read all this. Did you hear about the Chinese self-destruct helmets? Yeah, I heard about the self-destruct helmets maybe 6 months ago. They used the FEMA coffins to bury all the murder hornets that disappeared. Yeah, maybe, right? Yeah. What's going to kill us now? You know, somebody was saying they're trying to vaccinate all the honeybees. Jimmy Dore on pool is on point. That's who he was, yeah. Had some good shit to say. Like, he knew his material or was very well rehearsed. FEMA has 20,000 emergency managers and support staff. Yeah, what you better watch with FEMA is Department of Transportation, right? Because that's how they're going to lock down everybody's movement. The Department of Transportation, who can staff it themselves, right? Didn't it just come out that Department of Transportation or FEMA has 70,000 employees off the books, right? What do they need those for? Where do you think those people are? What are they for? So there's a big event this weekend at the Lincoln Memorial, I think. Tulsi Gabbard is speaking. He's speaking. There's a bunch of people. Rand Paul's coming in. Spanish flu coming back, apparently. Yeah, of course, sure it is. We don't say Bill Gates anymore. We call him Gilly Bates, right? They will actually demonetize your shit, just like saying George Soros. I'm from Dot, get on the train. Yeah. I'm from the government. I'm here to help. There are 60,000 bees in an advertise. Most people have multiple hives. How are they going to vaccinate bees? Yeah, crazy, right? Because they're going to use nano dust. Yeah, I like Tulsi. Old Ruins, John Levy channel. Shooter from NSU was black, no coverage. Is this the one that happened day before yesterday? The shooter from the day before yesterday, who killed himself, shot and killed killed 3 people and then killed himself. I don't know if there were others wounded. Had been arrested before. And the prosecutor did not use the firearms enhancement against him. He was a prohibited person and had another crime involving a firearm, and they did not prosecute him. MK Ultra, graphene, yeah, it could be graphene. Remember, conserve ammo, keep a 1 round and a second rate of fire while suppression. I bought expired legit beef jerky off eBay jerky, and it's 4 months expired. It's beef jerky. It's fine. I would assume that beef jerky is fine if it does not have mold on it. If you're really worried about it, rub a little on your cheek. If nothing happens, rub a little on your lips a couple hours later. Take a small bite, right? Same way you would with mushrooms. I may be a FEMA employee and not even know it. I need to get back to sheep butchering videos. Trump is leading in the polls. Yeah, they don't want that, man. Scully believes that if he runs and looks like that they will assassinate him. I mean, look at everything they have done while he is not president. Just imagine what they're going to do if it looks like he will be. K-Bonk, thank you for the $20 super chat, man. Thank you. Appreciate you. He looked like he was holding a revolver, definitely a handgun, but Biden still asked for AR ban. So I saw somebody saying that, but I didn't know what they were talking about. Yeah, never let a good crisis go to waste. Are you supposed to do that with mushrooms? I think you do it with all wild edibles to see, if you're not really sure what it is. Survival school and foraging, they tell you that. Alex Baldwin rule. What is that? Is he in custody, Alex Baldwin? Did anybody get shipping today? Anybody get tracking today? We shipped a lot of stuff today. Amanda actually processed all these boxes tonight. We have a bunch of stuff that'll come up tomorrow that will ship orders. So Amanda shipped a bunch of stuff tonight just to get caught up. These are all belt returns right here that are all done. They just have to be processed, but those get processed individually. You can't just click a button on those. Talk about the problem with tactical gear diversity. Is the freeze-dried pizza roll really any good? I need to know. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Chicken Hawk Homestead, I assume you have a freeze dryer. They're good. Is there anybody on, because we did them last year too, right? My phone is heating up. I've got this giant battery pack. Let me make sure all my apps and bullshit are closed here. Here, check this out. Check this out, baby. So, did anybody on here, can you verify that you have had the freeze-dried pizza rolls? Anyone? Oh, I came over here to plug this in. Hold on, guys. My phone will, Verizon will force update my phone. And every time I get a forced update, my phone does crazy shit, gets hot, it installs a bunch of fucking bullshit on there. I remove it. But for the first few days, it's like it has an infection, right? It's sweating and it's super hot and it doesn't want to work. That's my phone every time it does a forced update. Be getting one in the next year. Those have to be manually entered. Laugh out loud. Government USPS never tells me till it's delivered. Weird. Our shipping software should tell you though. You should get an email, just like when you order from us. When we ship, you should also get an email saying, hey, your shit's on the way. And in that email is a tracking number, and you can actually click that and it'll show you, it'll take you right to the tracking app. Mushrooms, THC, I get a text. Who doesn't like morels? Android, yeah, Android. Do you like morel mushrooms? I like I like a lot of shit if I don't have to cook it. I love to eat. USPS never tells me mine is on the way, and I'm super excited about it. Nice. Are you talking about your freeze dryers on the way? We need to talk about. Okay, so I've read all of these. Is there anybody on here who has tried the freeze dried pizza rolls? My battery time sucks all of a sudden. John, I use 0 lemon. I use the biggest battery pack that I can get. So my phone will typically run for 3 days off of the charge. Got some pizza rolls last year. They were good, waiting on the resin sauce pillow desk ornament to fully cure before it turns it on the lay. Oh, I see what you're saying, buddy. I didn't realize who was typing that. I got my 2-point padded rifle sling. What do you think of it? What do you think of it? Are you pleased with it? Is it not everything you thought it would be? My order from y'all is on the way. That's the best part of cooking mushrooms. What's in the pizza rolls? We did 2 of them. I think we did like sausage and cheese, and one was pepperoni and cheese. I think they're Tino's pizza rolls, or Tarantino, whatever the the most popular brand is. Oh, here's my lunch. I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at? I guess it was in the microwave. Nanovax? I don't know what that is. Yeah, I'm very pleased with it, especially since I can adjust. Yeah. I gained 10 pounds, lost my modeling contract. They have a section for you on Pornhub. It's BBW. So if you're 10 over and you lost your modeling contract, just put on another 30 and you'll be good to go over on the other side. Are they gluten-free, organic? Yeah, free range. They were from free range pepperoni monsters. Grumpy Acres, what's up? I didn't even see you on here. Have a great night, man. Is this you, or is this Yoda? Why do they call her Yoda? She does not look like Yoda. Switch to feet only. Wait till you see our shirt next week. We have the lightweight hoodies right here. It's got the black flag. It's got the subdued American flag. And it says, no surrender, no quarter. Calvin Klein will hire you. Yeah, fucking go work for Not Pretty in Pink, right? That brand Pink. Is it Pink? What's the Victoria's Secretion, right? Victoria has no secrets. DCA and Bitcoin dip coming. Long story on the Yoda name. I'll share it as right on. Can you imagine a day I didn't make your lunch? I just came in here and ate meat, and then thought, nobody eats this asparagus, and I didn't even think about a plate being in the microwave. I just ate like 6 ribs. Thank you for making my plate. I'm sure somebody here's woman wears Victoria's Secrets, right? Walk in a Victoria's Secrets, and it's like walking into what's the low rent, right? Which one? You got TJ Maxx, Ross, and Marshalls, right? Sometimes they're nice, and sometimes you go in there and it is just fucking tore up as fuck. That's how Victoria's Secrets is now. They've closed. What'd they close? 50% of their stores? Like, they don't have a Victoria's Secret in a high-end mall anymore. Yoda, as in age, is very wise and knows the way. Oh, maybe that's why. Rihanna flashed the Illuminati sign during the halftime. What is the Illuminati sign, right? Is that I can't even do it, right? Is that this, right? Is that this thing? Because people say that that's a show of intelligence, right? People don't know what to do with their hands, so there's a couple different things in public speaking where you'll read that that's a sign of intelligence, so people will start doing it, not realizing it maybe that it's something else. So maybe there's no. I believe Rihanna knew exactly what she was doing, and it's exactly what she wanted you to think it was. But there are people like when they hold their hands. And then it'll also say it's a Freemason sign too. Zulu 7 gang sign. Yeah, that's it. Only do Fashion Week. The Panty Bar. My favorite bar used to be at Victoria's Secretion. I think Victoria's Secret was bought out by Lane Bryant. Oh, that makes all the sense, doesn't it? Do I ever go back to Cali? Fuck no. They'll have to extradite me to get me back to Cali. Can we separate Illuminati and Satanism? Can we separate because they are very different? Victoria's Secret has 48-week lead time for design to in-store. Have you or any of your crew tried any off-brand Berkey water? I have not, man. Berkey's good about sending emails out, and I buy them when I see that they have them. So I have a bunch like stored up. Now, be leery of that, right? Check those, because I had brand new Berkeys that I had bought, and over a couple of years, I would pull them out to use the filters out of them, and the glue on the filters had fucking fallen off. More like Victor's Secret. Where would you go if you had to leave Tennessee? I think I would probably go where Tag is from Life Done Free. I think that being where they are, I think would be a very good thing. Maybe Oklahoma, around the area Bear is. Or there's some dudes in Texas, and I like what they're doing. Florida. Yeah, I've never wanted to like live in Florida. What camera are you using for the live? I'm on a gigantic iPad, the biggest one they make, and it's in an otter box. I'll bet it weighs 2 pounds. That's why you see a lot of the floor. I hold it like in the crook of my arm, right in the backside of my elbow. I respect hand signs I respect hand signs with a cordless drill in one hand and screwdriver in the other. I wouldn't trust another brand filter unless you own the different brand system. I don't think it's worth saving on a filter. Just pay Berkey. There are some, they call them water wicks, and they come from like Sweden or something, but it's a ceramic filter, right? And I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that Berkey even sells something like that on their website, or before they were the carbon charcoal filters, that they were white ceramic filters at one time. California, you learn onslaught of daily government and bukkake. Yeah, no shit. We left California 14 years ago. Walmart online sells Berkey the best price I've seen. I wonder if they're Berkey. I mean, I would assume. I mean, who fucking knows though? Berkey. So Walmart is trying to compete with Amazon, right? If you haven't noticed, targeted marketing for Walmart will show you trampolines and outdoor sheds and crazy shit that Walmart, does not sell, but they sell it through them. Just got done filling up my Berkey. I kind of feel the same. I've seen some on Amazon half price. There's a lot of stuff on Amazon that's not what you think it is. Nebraska, I don't know shit about Nebraska, buddy. Kansas is flat and tornado prone. I can't believe the government is finally admitting UFOs are real. Are they? You mean they're, look over here, don't pay attention to the corrupt shit we're really doing. They have the Berkey labels from Walmart. Chris Watkins, what's up, buddy? Do you guys realize how easy it is to package supplements and pharmaceuticals? Like you'll get a bottle of something, right? And you will have this perception that it is whatever it is and it came from a big laboratory or something, right? But you can print out labels for anything on your computer, and you put this band over it and you heat it with a heat shrink gun, or you put it under this little box that has a heater, and it puts the band around here, right? Do you see this, right? Black Forest Labs, right? It's very blurry. The label is very fucking blurry on it. But we buy these things, you'll buy things and have this perception that it's exactly what it says it is. And sometimes it's not. I'm not saying that that's the case with Amazon, but there's a lot of shit that comes off Amazon that is not fucking what you think it is or what it's supposed to be. Criminally underrated enterprise. Mike, I almost bought other filters. The fluoride filters sell out every time. Yeah, they go fast. They go very fast. Any experience with John Ellis water? I've never heard of it. Supposed to have a higher hydrogen bond angle. I have no idea, buddy. How it's made, antidepressants. I just know a lot about packaging, right? I know. I've seen some scams that people used to buy. They would buy things at one store, return them to another store, and they would remove contents like colognes and perfumes and things, and then fill them back with other liquids, and then repackage the container, and then return it. All right, guys. Hey, I'm going to jump off of here. Definitely filter your water. If you don't have one, make it priority. Yeah, I mean, look up in like the Berkey filter, right? If you can buy, and it doesn't even have to be Berkey, buy some filters, and you can build a filter out of 5-gallon buckets. It won't look as pretty as the Berkey. I first bought the Berkey Light, right, which looks like a Culligan bottle. But over time, we've had, I think, 2 or 3 of them, where the spigot goes through that plastic container. They always crack right there. Now, you could JB weld it, you could epoxy it, you could definitely fix it. But I used to think, when I first started with Berkeys, I wanted to see how much water was in them, right? And I didn't want to have to buy the sight glass thing. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, I have all stainless steel Berkeys now. We use a 6.5 gallon Berkey. It takes 6 1-gallon pitchers to fill it up. And we refill that thing several times through the day. We go through so much water. HBO show Chernobyl is a great highlight of what's going on. Oh, I bet it is. I like my Berkey bucket filter. I built better than the stainless steel. Cool, cool. You can also do it with stainless steel pans. Like you can make, you just need 2 vessels that hold water. Berkey has nothing in stock. It comes and goes, man. Now, there's also some companies that stock it also. Bought a Berkey light system, and they sent me 2. Called them, and they said for me to keep it. Nice, nice. If you feel bad about it, give it to somebody that needs it. I would tell you to keep it in reserve. Got home, finally got to open my tool bag. It's gorgeous, and I can't wait to take it on the cruise. Jeremy Kirby, man, right on. Right on. I like using used wine, 6-gallon, but oh, right on, right on. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off of here. I'm the best vessel for holding 9.9 above beer. Right on. All right, guys, I'm out. Everybody have a good night. I've got some videos that went up on YouTube if you want to hear more of my voice. If you want to hear Amanda's voice, there's a video that went up today also with Amanda and Nicole in there. I'm out of here, guys. Just got the new hoodie on the way. Right on, man.